Welcome to Land Academy. This is the Cash Flow from Land show, where we show you how to buy unwanted vacant land and sell it for more on the internet. I'm Steve Butala.
I'm Jill DeWit.
We are your hosts. With over 15,000 completed transactions, we are the experts in this niche land flipping business.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at landacademy.com. All right, let's get this show started.
Stephen Butala for Land Academy. Welcome to our Cash Flow from Land show. We show you how to buy property for half of what it's worth and resell it the next day. Free information from Jack, that's me.
And inspiration from Jill, that's me.
In this episode, Jill and I talk about why real estate is the most popular way to create wealth. It's true, more millionaires have been created from real estate than anything else. Great show today, Jill. It's a little bit different. It's fun, actually. Before we start, let's take a question posted by one of our members on successplan.com, our free online community.
Okay. Scott from Sacramento asks, super excited and ready to purchase my first investment property. What are your best tips or advice for me? I'm looking for guidance as I embark on my future as a real estate investor.
Congratulations, Scott from Sacramento. That's awesome. You're definitely pointed in the right direction. You got the right idea. Here's my advice. Forget about this property. And here's why. What I want you to do first, especially if you're young, and it sounds like you are, learn how to source super cheap property. So that talent, and it's what we teach here, that talent will serve you for the rest of your life. I see many investors buy a property the incorrect way the first time out of the gate there, and it really destroys your your appetite or your that quest that you have for an interest in being a real estate investor. So you want to learn. You want to start with education. You want to learn how to buy super undervalued property, which is what Jill and I specialize in and teach many of our members. So please consider forgetting about that first property and spend the next 6 months to a year learning, hopefully from us, but any source that you can find about how to buy super cheap property.
Love it. So you're talking, just to recap, Steve, Jack, AKA Steven.
I know. Jack is my middle name.
I know, but we don't use it very often, and now it just kind of fits. So I still catch myself too.
People are starting to call us Jack and Joe and remembering it, so
I know
it makes sense.
It's true. So it's think about the numbers. Don't get, we joke about this, but it's all true. You're either going to win emotionally or you're going to win financially. Which would you like? So don't think emotionally, think financially. Think about the numbers.
This is a topic of a whole different episode, but one of the as ironic as it sounds, one of the least significant things to look at in a real estate deal, the way we do it, is the real estate itself. The transactions what matter, the numbers, who's going to buy it, how fast they're going to buy it, how they're going to buy it, the whole thing. The house itself, unless it's fallen down, it's either turnkey or it's not. And if it's not, then you wholesale it to somebody who can make it turnkey. The real estate doesn't matter. And it's sad to see people right up front, Jill, get really hung up on it.
It's true. All
right, so why the heck is real estate the most popular way to create wealth? Well, here's the thing, and Jill, pipe in any time here. Real estate has what I call the two major components of any type of investment that you really want. It immediately produces cash flow, but it's also, the value is increasing over time because inflation pushes it up. Theoretically, when you go buy some stock in a stock market, it's the same thing. It should pay out a little bit of dividends every year and increase in value 10 or 11% a year, but it never does. Stock will increase for sure if you buy it right and get the right person involved and stuff, but there's fees and all kinds of things. Real estate, unless you really just do it all wrong, it's maybe the safest way to do that. So, and it's just timeless. The more population grows, the more people need a place to live. So, and then the huge difference in my opinion is that it can be a totally passive investment. You can buy 15 rental houses and have a manager and never really even know where they are. So it's that's really why I think it's such a popular way to make a ton of money. That, and I think the numbers are pretty staggering. If you put $20,000 down on a house and you pay off the 30-year mortgage fixed, and everything holds true, the market goes up 11% a year. It has done that since they kept track of it since the early 1900s. You're going to make $2 million by that time.
Right.
So, but that's just because you're living there. That's all you have to do. Mm-hmm. If you own a company, let's say a dry cleaner, let's look at this. Let's look at selling 100 properties on terms versus owning a dry cleaner. So you buy and sell as you're going along 100 properties, and you sell them on terms for $200 each a month for, I don't know, 15 years or 18 years. That's a typical 40-acre deal for us. We buy it for like $2,000 or $3,000, and we sell it for 20 for like $200 down and $200 a month. You get 100 of those, you're making 20 grand a month for 17 or 18 years. The vast majority of those are never going to get paid off, so you resell them. So it's basically renting a property. And once how much time, Jill, would it take you a day to manage 100 vacant pieces of property and the payments? 20 seconds?
Exactly.
A teaspoonful of effort.
It's true.
How much time does it take to run a dry cleaner?
Oh, my
day,
goodness.
12 hours a day.
There's work involved. There's a lot involved.
That's why this is such a popular method. You don't have to get up in the morning. You're literally making money in your sleep, literally. Mm-hmm. Let's take a real brief look at another example. An apartment building versus a printing company, like a big commercial printing company. You buy the apartment building, you put a manager in place, you raise the capital, the whole thing, you get the thing done. You buy the building right, by the way. You don't buy one that's falling down and you renovate it. You keep the thing rented with your good property manager in place. You pay the manager well. You don't even really need to know where the building is. You could have a full-time job, and have an own apartment building and buy another one on a weekend. So it's so easy to accumulate wealth in real estate if you get the right training. That's the whole key. You got to know what you're doing. Real estate almost always wins, Jill. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd love to hear another better business model. The only one that I've ever heard of that's even close is insurance. But here's the thing with insurance. If you're the greatest insurance person in the world and you sell 1 million policies a day, there's still no equity component. When they stop paying the policies, you have nothing left. There's no balance sheet component to it in accounting speak. So I'll leave it at that. I hope that's obvious, Joe.
You're saying, like you said, equity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Equity.
That's the thing.
Real estate has both.
I know. Well, we joke about that. I sleep really well at night because everything's paid for around here.
Yeah.
Equity. And it's bringing in money. And here's the thing I love about, if something happened of a tenant moves out or whatever you're doing, you put another one in, it's paid for. It's easy.
This can't be a 3-hour show because I could fill a 3-hour show with the reasons that real estate's better than everything else. We haven't talked about the fact that our kids are going to get all this.
Oh, that's true too.
If you have an apartment building, I've got a buddy who owns like 300 or 400 single family houses that are paid off.
Right.
His kids are going to get that stuff. They're all rented.
Yep.
And their kids, if that's what they want. Exactly. And with a good manager in place, I'm sure he doesn't even know where half of them are. He's never seen them.
Yep.
All right. So this is the if-then segment of the show. If you do X, then Y will happen. If you buy $1,000 property for half of what it's actually worth every single month, and you sell it for $2,000, you double your money, which is what we do around here every single day and week. Then, how long does it take to turn that $1,000 into $1 million? If you buy $1,000 property and double your money every single month, that same $1,000 investment, how long does it take to make to have $1 million in the bank? 11 months. What? Then why the hell isn't everybody doing that? Well, a lot of people are, and you can hear them talking about it at successplant.com. They're our members. Here's the thing. In month 1, you sell one property. You buy and sell one property. In month 2, it's 2. In month 3, it's 4, 8, 16, 32. So in those later months, in 8, especially in 9, 10, and 11, you're selling now 250 properties a month, and then 500, and then 1,000. So is that unrealistic? Yes. But is it realistic to do it in 2 years? Yeah. So you just have to get a good machine in place, like Jill and I have. We have a good sales machine in place, a good engineering department, so we can review a lot of properties quickly, and That's the whole thing about it. So we do this all the time. We generate millions of dollars. I haven't put money in this company since 1999.
This comes up a lot. It's interesting. But when you sit down and think about it, it's like people go, oh yeah, no, I don't see how that can work. But when you sit down and write it down, they go, oh, okay, I guess that's right. I talked to someone just recently when we were going over some numbers, and I said, okay, look at it this way. You start with $500, you make it $1,000. Even just if you're building up your acquisition funds is what we were talking about. You put in $500, you double your money, now you have $1,000. Double your money, now you have $2,000. Double money, you have $4,000, $8,000, 16,000, 32. When you look at it like that, you're like, huh.
Just do one deal at a time.
Yeah. Well, and you don't have to be looking. And here's what will happen. Let's be realistic. It's not one property. I'm not finding one property for 32,000 and making 64. Maybe I am. However, make it easy. Of that, I'm doing 4 now with my same numbers, or like you just said, 5 with my same numbers.
Yep.
That's it. When you really, and I love that you have a spreadsheet that I know that you shared in our cash flow from land program that does that exact math.
I think it's in the free ebook, actually. I know it is.
I don't know. I don't know if it's in the
It's
book.
in both.
Okay. But you share a spreadsheet that does exactly that. So it's kind of like, oh, it sounds just, it's just these big goals. But when you write down on paper, you kind of go, oh, all right. No, I really do get it. I see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Here's the key. This is extremely accomplishable if you have the systems in place. What I see, and I talk about this in our program several times. I talk about it on the show all the time. What's going to trip you up is if you don't listen to the step-by-step instructions. So the first thing you want to do when you start a company like this is get your website up. Forget about the property. We're not even going to get to that yet. We want to just get your website up, get your social media, I call it getting the social media ball rolling. Got to get all that, because once you start sending these letters out and you're going to get tripped up by doing deals, all the stuff that you were supposed to do in the beginning is undone. And now you're missing out on deals, and you got the cart before the horse. So the trick is not to find the property. Anybody can do that. We show you exactly how to do that in our program through direct mail. And do the deals, anybody can do that. Not anybody. You got to be organized. The key is to stay all organized with the sales process and get a big list of buyers. And I tell you exactly how to do that.
I got to say something. I had someone, someone asked me the other day, okay, how long, asking me personally about flipping properties, a timeline. And I said, it varies from hours 2 weeks. And they went, what?
That's hilarious. That's true.
I was
though.
Totally true. And I said, and sometimes it's sold before I bought it. They're like, what? I'm like, seriously. And anybody could do this. You and I talk about it all the time about getting a buyer's list. I have a good buyer's list that I've developed over the years. I know that before I buy this property I'm talking this guy with right now, I already know 3 buyers that want it.
I always say that to myself too. This property is perfect for X. Mm-hmm. Right when we're looking to buy it.
Right. So that's the guy goes, oh, I'm like, yeah. I mean, for example, we have car dealership. We have a friend that does car sales. We put in an order and he goes and gets it. It's kind of like that. You know what your people want.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's not crazy. I see that happening within Success Plan all the time.
Yeah, me too.
A lot of our members are like, oh my gosh, this county is fantastic. I see them talking with each other like, oh, I've got a guy. I just sold him every 5-acre property that I had in this county. He wants more. Does anybody else have any? And everybody's kind of scrambling now to get some more. And then I'm like, this is great. They're already sold.
Right.
That's it.
It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes 11 months or 12 months if you got all the ducks in a row and the planets are aligned and you're organized and efficient. It should take you about 11 months. Then you take that $1 million and buy a bunch of property, sell it on terms, and you're done.
Yep.
24 months, you could be done with the whole thing. If you have a question or you want to be on the show, call 800-725-8816. Jill, do you have some kind of inspirational theory for us today?
I do. Today, I thought it would be good to think about what is your end goal? Dream it up. Kind of ties into this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's 2 years from now, where would you like to be?
I love that. I think you could even just take it a step. I take it a step further and I try to just visualize it. Like, what does your office look like? Mm-hmm. What does your house look like? What kind of car is in the driveway? Mm-hmm. That really helps me for some reason.
Yes, but then it's not Jill's inspiration for the day. That's Steven's inspiration for the day.
Oh, that's just, my comment on Jill's inspiration.
Just teasing you. Look, I have one segment. It may be small, but it's mine. I'm just kidding.
I would love for you to have 9 segments and I have 1.
I'm just
That'd be great.
kidding.
We can change seats anytime.
Totally kidding. No, I'm good. I'm good. We're happy over here. I like my view.
Join us in another episode where Jack and Jill discuss how to use information, that's me,
and inspiration, that's me,
to get just about anything you want. We use it every day to buy land for half of what it's worth and sell it immediately. I like this new format, Jill.
Mm-hmm, me too.
I think I'll give you 4 more segments if you'd like.
I was totally kidding.
Okay, good.
That was funny. That was a good show. I think it's everybody knows that. We all grew up knowing that you can make money in real estate. But a lot of people don't. When you have to sit down and talk about how does this work? How did Trump become Trump? Well, there you go.
Yeah, the large commercial guys like Donald Trump. Donald Trump, he is very, very successful because he's branded his last name. So when there's people in a market that are looking for a personal condo, like in a huge city like Manhattan or anywhere, they look at 9 buildings or 3 buildings and they're all Class A, and they pick the Trump building because it's so recognizable. And that's the reason he's so successful. But those large commercial guys, they take the equity thing really seriously. They'll buy a half full, 50% occupied, extremely high-end, apartment building, fill it up, and in the same year, sell it for 3 times as much. So they're creating equity by that income stream, and that's what Donald Trump does. Or even better yet, you build it, fill it up, and sell it. So you can make tons, literally billions of dollars in equity really quickly, but if you know how to occupy big buildings.
Yep.
That's not my title. In fact, it's funny because the name of the title of the next show is Be Great at One Thing. What are we great at? Buying property for half of what it's worth. And that was intentional. I'm not the greatest salesperson there ever was. I'm not even that good. In fact, Jill, I'm not a very good negotiator, but I know how to buy property for cheap, and it's paying out great. Right?
Yes. I thought you were closing on that.
Let's go buy something for half today and sell it for twice what you paid. Jack and Jill, information and inspiration.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at landacademy.com.
If you want to get involved or you need more information about our profitable, niche real estate operation, call 480-467-0359. You just might get Jill at the other end of the line.
landacademy.com. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.